Alrighty, Algebra 2, Example 7. We are on a factoring frenzy here. Sorry these videos are too long, or so long, but factoring is not easy. So the more examples you see and the more examples that you do, the easier it will become to you in the long run, I promise. So example 7 just says factor the following polynomials completely. So let's just get a bunch of examples in. And always remember to test whatever you come up with boiling it or multiplying it back out. So letter A says 5x cubed plus 30x squared minus 15x. So we always check GCF first. So I'm going to say first check GCF. And let's see, 5, 30, and 15 totally can pull a 5 out. And then x cubed, x squared, and x, we can pull an x out as well. So we have 5x. So then if I took a 5x out of here, 5 divided by 5 is 1. We had 3 x's, we took 2. We took 1, so we have 2 left over. So that's just x squared. 30 divided by 5 is 6, so plus 6. We had x squared, we take x out, we have 1x left. And then 15 divided by 5 is 3. And then we had 1x and we took it, so we are done with that one. Okay? Now, when you do the GCF, you always want to check to see if you can factor this a little bit further. So obviously there's no GCF in there, so then the next thing you check is your special pattern. Special patterns. Okay? So let's see, we have square root of 3, square root of x. No, that's not cutting it. Can I then, so no special patterns, so then I guess if I can guess and check, let's see if we can do anything there. So essentially I need factors of 3, since there's nothing out here, factors of 3 that have a difference of 6. Well, the only factors of 3 are 1 and 3, so those, 1 minus 3 or 3 minus 1 does not give me 6. So this actually factors no further, so this is our answer here. Let's just double check to make sure what we multiplied in is what we get out. So 5x times x squared is 5x cubed. 5x times 6x, 5 times 6 is 30, so plus 30x squared, because I had 2 of them. And then 5x times a negative 3 is a negative 15, and then x. So is that what we started with? Sure is, so we know that our answer is correct. Okay, letter B. Let's see if there's a GCF I can pull out with the numbers. Since that's a 1, definitely not for that. A's, nope, this guy doesn't have an A, so no GCF that I can pull out. Is there a special pattern? Let's see, check the first thing. Can you take the square root? Square root of A, square root of A. And check the last thing. Can you square root? Square root of 9 is definitely 3. So then just make sure that what's in the middle is this times this doubled. So 3 times A would be 3A, and then you double it and you get 6. Now notice there's a minus here, so we have to make sure that we use A minus 3 instead of the plus, and we know that it's going to be squared. So that's our difference of squares pattern. Okay, let's just double check it. So if we square it out, and we'd have A minus 3 times A minus 3. So let's just double check. A times A is A squared. A times a negative 3 is a negative 3A. Negative 3 times A is a negative 3A. And then negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9. When I combine these two things here, we get A squared. Negative 3A plus a negative 3A is a negative 6A. Plus 9, bada boom, bada bing, we got it. So that's one of our special patterns there. All right, our next one, we have 4x squared plus 20x plus 25. So again, we go back to GCF. Does anything work here? 4, 20, 4 and 20. Yeah, we can pull a 4 out of both, but can I pull a 4 out of 25? No, so that doesn't work. X, X, and no X here, so no GCF for this guy. Let's move to special patterns. Let's check here. Square root of 4x squared is 2x. So that's good. And then the square root of 25 is 5. And, well, do I get the middle term? Well, 2x times 5 is 10x. Remember, we have to double it for this pattern. So 10x doubled is 20x. Seems like it's going to work. So this is one of those things squared. Now, do I want a plus or a minus here? Well, everything's positive, so you're going to want a plus. So this, we think, is our answer. Let's just double check. So let's FOIL it out. So we have 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 5. And let's see here, 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 5 is a positive 10x. 5 times 2x is a positive 10x again. And then 5 times 5 is 25. We combine the middle two, we get 4x squared plus 20x plus 25. Bingo. We got it. Special patterns are nice because you know for sure that's what they're going to factor into. Okay, one more. X squared minus 16. This might be a special pattern again. It might be that instead of having two minuses or two pluses, it's the alternating one. X squared, square root of x squared is x. So we need two binomials here. And square root of 16 is 4, so we put 4's here. But remember, if there's no middle term, you have to have one plus and one minus. So they're alternating here. Let's FOIL it out just to check. X times x, x squared. X times a negative 4 is a negative 4x. 4 times x is a positive 4x. And then positive 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. So we get x squared. These are gone. Minus 16. Bingo. Woo! We're on a roll. All right, letter E. So it's 5x squared plus 9x minus 18. Is there a GCF? Well, let's see. 5 and 9, no. And 18, no. And there's no x's I can pull out. So is there a special pattern? Check your first and your last terms. Can you take the square root of 5? No. You take the square root of 18? No. So there's no special pattern. So that leads us to number 3, which is guess and check. So we actually have to check these ones. Oh boy. All right. So let's go ahead. We know it's a quadratic trinomial, so it's going to factor into two binomials. Our only options for our first terms, factors of 5 are 1 and 5. So we have x and then 5x. We need a negative for our last term, so that means we need alternating signs here. I don't know that those are their spots, but I have to start somewhere. And then factors of 18, let's see, we have 1 and 18. And sometimes it helps to write these out. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. So I don't like starting with those. You can if you want, but I'm going to start with 2 and 9. So let's do 2 here and 9 here. So x times 5x is 5x squared. X times a negative 9, negative 9x. 2 times 5x is plus 10x. And then finally, 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. So negative 9x plus 10x, nope, not going to cut it because that's just x, and I need 9x. So thank goodness for erasers. Let's get rid of that. Jump on that. Now, we're getting rid of all this. I don't want to change too much here at one time because you might skip over something that actually does work. So all I'm going to do is switch the spots of 9 and 2. And you're going to be switching around so much of these. When you FOIL these out, only FOIL if you think you definitely have it. And a quicker way to check if it's actually going to work for you, you know the firsts are going to work because x times 5x is 5x squared. You pick those on purpose. 9 times a negative 2 is going to give you a negative 18. So those you really don't even have to check. You really just have to look for your middle term to work. And how do you do that? Well, out of FOIL, first, outers, inners, last. The last gives you the last. The first gives you the first. So you have to check your inners and your outers. So what I like to do is just mentally do, 9 times 5x is 45x, and then x times negative 2 is a negative 2x. That's going to give me 43x. Is that what I need here? No. So that's not going to work for us. So 9 and 2 are actually going to be out. And then I would move on to 3 and 6. So I tried both ways with 9 and 2. It didn't work. So let's get rid of them. And then we'll try 3 and 6 and see if we have any better luck there. So again, you can start mentally thinking, whoops, sorry, I sent a pen. You can start mentally thinking, if I put 6 here, that will give me 30. That's way bigger than 9. So let's put the 3 here and the 6 here, because then I have 5 times 3, which is going to be 15, and then minus 6x. That probably gives me 9x. So now is the point where you actually want to say, okay, let's FOIL these out and check. So x times 5x is 5x squared. X times a negative 6 is a negative 6x. 3 times 5x is a positive 15x. And then positive 3 times a negative 6 is a negative 18. So let's combine our middle terms. We get 5x squared. Negative 6x plus 15x. Bingo. Positive 9x minus 18. It works, so we are good. This is our answer. And it took a little bit of work to get there, and I swear, the more you do these, the better you're going to get. Because it's not just, there's no perfect science to it. All right, so just persevere, guess and check, change one thing at a time, and you will get there eventually, I promise. Alrighty, I have 4 factoring problems here for you to try, so please copy all of these down, and I want you to factor all of these problems, and I'm going to check all of your solutions tomorrow when we get to class. Okay? Best of luck to you.